I have dealt with hair loss many times because of different reasons, but it started all the same. I remember standing in the shower after shampooing with a bunch of hair in my hand, looking at it and thought like, it's just a little bit more than normal. And then this cycle repeated, just a little bit more than normal. But in the end, I had to admit, no, it's not just a little bit more than normal. I'm dealing with hair loss again. And from my own experience, I figured out over 20 reasons that caused me hair loss in my life. And I want to share it with you in order that you can react directly and that you have a clear plan for investigation if that happens to you. The first part of the video will be the reasons, and then we will focus on what to do about them. The first group of reasons for hair loss is an unhealthy diet. That's pretty obvious. If you're eating a lot of processed food, which can acidify your body and also doesn't have much nutrition left in it due to the processes it went through, that's not a good base for healthy hair. Also, not eating enough, meaning that you don't get enough nutrients. Of course, eating the wrong stuff. And another reason can be eating not enough protein. If you're just eating raw vegetables, likelihood is very high that your body cannot build healthy hair, because hair is made, as well as your nails, made from keratin, which is a protein, and thus you need amino acids and abundance of amino acids in your body to build healthy hair. The second group of reasons can be medical treatments or medication in general. So if you're going through chemotherapy or something like that, hair loss can mostly not be circumvented. I remember from my own experience when taking antidepressants 10 years ago, first everything went well, but then I started to experience some changes of my skin, urticaria, going hand in hand with severe hair loss. That led me to cut off all the medication immediately, that everything could recover. In general, if you're on any medication, that can have side effects. There is no medication that hasn't got side effects. Be aware of that. And one of them can also be hair loss. If you're taking several medication, usually the interactions between different types of medication cannot be foreseen or predicted. For everyone, this is an individual thing, but that can potentially be a reason for hair loss. The third group is psychological factors. From my own experience, I can tell you that one main reason why I was experiencing hair loss was stress. Stress could be work-related, stress could come from trauma or abusive relationships, no matter whether it's in work, in family, or your partners, or your friends. Non-treated trauma and depression that is not dealt with can also be a reason. Also, if you're in the process and you're going into therapy and dealing with that, that also can cause stress and can lead to increased hair loss over a limited amount of time. Another psychological factor is anxiety. If you're regularly experiencing anxiety in your life for whatever reason, can also have political reasons why you are afraid of things that's leading to stress and then hair loss. Fourth group is body changes. Body changes can also lead to hair loss. For example, due to hormone changes. When you're pregnant or you're entering menopause, for example, a lot of hormone changes occur in your body. That can also be a reason why you could experience hair loss. From my own experience, I can also tell you that Allergies can also play a role in hair loss. If it's pollen allergy that comes out in different times, during that time I also experienced increase of hair loss. Now we come to the fifth group of reasons, and this is also the last one, and this is poor hair care routine. Chemicals, chemicals, chemicals. And an overload of chemicals is hardly good for your skin and your hair. Easy as that. I also went through that until I thought, what's going on? Why do Asian people always have great hair, or Arabic people? Poor hair care routine does mean you're washing your hair too often. Chemical treatments, and that can be dyeing your hair with chemicals, permanent wave, bleaching, also using non-natural hair care products that contain a lot of chemicals and silicones, which also pollute the environment, or PEGs and acrylates, stuff like that. That's not good for your hair, and it's also not good for your scalp. I would recommend to avoid that. Another subgroup here is the physical treatments. So, like blow frying your hair every day or extensively, in addition to the chemical products, or straightening your hair every day. This also weakens the hair and can also lead to hair loss. These were reasons from my own experience for hair loss, and now the question is what to do about that. And what you may have discovered, maybe you have nodded to some of the groups I stated. Also, if you have additional reasons for hair loss due to your own experience, please share them in the comments. And what you may have discovered is that hair loss is usually a multifactorial thing. It's not only one reason, it's one reason that leads to another, which is then putting the spiral downwards, or one reason that adds to others. So, for example, stress. When you're stressed, you will enter fight and flight mode all the time. That means your cortisol level rises and blood circulation is restricted. Due to that, the uptake of nutrients will be decreased, so your digestion is going down, and if you're already eating unhealthy and with a lack of vitamins and macromolecules, then this even gets worse. So at the end, there's not much that your body can build hair from. Your hair roots are not nourished, and then all this spiral goes down. You experience hair loss. You are even stressed more because of that. Fight and flight mode, cortisol levels, bad digestion, blood circulation restricted. Yeah, we want to overcome that. And my first recommendation to tackle that is get the basics right and build a strong fundament. And a strong fundament is meaning eat healthy. And what that means can be different for everyone, but even if you're vegetarian, vegan, or if you're eating meat, whatever, but the quality of food, no matter what you eat, is important. And that does mean no fast food. Eat organic fruit and vegetables. No processed food. Eat enough protein. And I can understand that sometimes it can be quite expensive to only eat organic. But start with the little things. Start improving the little things, and maybe start also growing your own food. If you have a garden, that's a great chance to do that and to start getting into that. It's always good to be outside and be connected to the earth. But also, if you just have a balcony or even no balcony and you just have the window shelf, you can grow some things there. So, for example, spinach is easy easy. You can even grow it inside with just a tray or something like that. Another easy way to improve your nutrient uptake is to grow seedlings. You can also do that on your window shelf. For example, broccoli seedlings or lentils. There are basically unlimited possibilities. And the good thing is you don't need a balcony or garden for that. Everyone can do that. But when you're changing your diet, we don't want to create more stress. So don't do everything at once. When you maybe you have eaten a lot of processed food or fast food and whatever, and now you want to change that, then do it in tiny steps. Because if you do everything at once, you might succeed for several weeks, but then at some point you become frustrated, fall back into old behaviors, and then you think, oh, I'm bad, I will never get it done, and whatever, and that can cause additional stress. So be nice to yourself. Start with tiny steps. And if you, for example, go to no sugar all of a sudden, that can just create additional stress. And being as a tiny step, you can already just decrease the amount of sugar that you're taking. Maybe you had a lot of cola or whatever before, and then you drink more tea or whatever you do. And sometimes, especially when as women we are through our menstruation phase, I need sugar then, and I need meat, and there is no point in avoiding that, because otherwise I become a bad gremlin, and I also feel bad, and I need that during that time. So don't be too hard on yourself, but at the same time don't be too excusing for yourself, because you are what you eat. And if you just eat a lot of bad stuff, and your body lacks nutrients to build up your body, it cannot do that. Another possibility could be to go to investigate if something is majorly off, to go to your doctor and do a blood test and evaluate, if something is majorly off. I wouldn't take the blood test too seriously, because they're taking just one sample, and good scientific practice is always getting 3 samples. So you may have just had some bad days, and maybe some levels are off. I wouldn't take that too serious. If you find out there is something majorly off, like a lack of vitamin B, for example, then you can also start taking supplements to compensate for that. In any case, I would recommend to check for supplements, especially for the hair. I also took them several times, and then see if it gets better. Maybe you were missing some component, and that can be supplemented through that. But in any case, there are many different hair boost supplements on the market, and none of them contains everything that you need for healthy hairs. And this is also just an emergency method, because no supplements can replace healthy eating. My second to do, if you're already experiencing hair loss, is stop everything mentioned under point 5. And that means avoiding any chemical or mechanical stress for your hair and scalp. Instead, implement a nourishing natural hair care routine adapted to your needs, with oils, herbal sprays, and henna. And it's my pleasure to help you with that. Be soft, be nice, and be careful with your hair. My third approach to overcome hair fall is to reevaluate your medication. I already shared my experience with the antidepressants, and maybe you find ways to be without the pills you're currently taking, or if that's not possible for you, you can maybe find in cooperation with your doctor some alternatives where you might respond better to, and that may result in less side effects. Or another possibility might be to reduce the dose of the active compound you're currently taking to reduce the side effects. But don't do it on your own. You can discuss that with your doctor if you're taking anything, and then hopefully find a solution for you. My fourth point here to overcome hair loss is to reduce stress. And that's also being said very easily. Yeah, just reduce stress and you'll be good. Yeah, that's maybe not so easy. You could start, for example, with practicing meditation or actually any kind of relaxation method. If it's meditation, if it's pranayama, if it's progressive muscle relaxation, or whatever it is, find something that works best for you. Because a lot of people are disappointed with the meditation, or usually our working days and our daily schedule is so tense that people struggle to find an entry into meditation, and that's when they give up. So don't give up yet. Just find something different. It's just important that you relax your body for some time during the day. If you're not a transcendental yogi in 5 days, no problem. Don't set your expectations too high with that. Yeah, find your own way to relax. So there is not just this one meditation, and if you don't do this, you have failed. Also, yoga can help to do that because it's relaxing the body and connects the body with your breathing. We usually breathe just in our upper part of the lungs, like really short. And just to take a deep breath and use your whole lung volume can already have an immense effect on your relaxation and perception of stress. So find something that helps you there and keep the balance. Don't drift into spiritual bypassing. I see a lot of people doing that. Then they run to yoga here, then they have another sports course there, then meditation in the evening, or 3 times of meditation during the day, and this and that. And so that's not really relaxing, and by keeping ourselves just busy all the time, we lose all the good benefits of these techniques, and we cannot get a clear mind, and we also lose our focus. So don't drift into that. Try some things, but also really keep the balance. Same with sports here. Sports are a very, very, very good way to decrease our cortisol levels. From my own experience also, I can tell you, I was always tending to do too much. If I started with body weight training, for example, then it's not only the body weight training, you need to also run, and then you do this and do that, and then you're busy with 6 hours of sports, and that's very relaxing. No, it isn't. And do sports, but don't do too much that your body gets drained, because that causes stress again and will also increase the likelihood of causing again hair fall. And depending on your current body status, doing extensive sports might be just too much for you, even if it's just 1 hour a day or whatever. Then start slow. Start just going for a walk for 30 minutes. Do that daily. There you cannot really do too much if it's not hiking the Alps for 6 hours. So just go for a walk in nature. Maybe you have a park close by, or a tiny forest, and then be in nature. That will also help you to decrease the cortisol levels. From my own experience, I can share with you that one of the major components to reduce stress is to get rid of toxic relationships. And toxic relationships with family members, toxic relationships with friends, in work, and with your partner. And that can be a quite challenging journey. And for this, there is actually no quick fix. For me, it took me 5 years to get out of a narcissistic, abusive relationship. So be patient with yourself, and because that needs time, educate yourself on what toxic relationships are and what toxic environments are. I also found much help regarding this on YouTube. In this manner, I can also recommend some channels. For example, Richard Grennan, he has a huge channel with a lot of years of experience on narcissistic relationships. Also, Dr. Ramani, both of them helped me really a lot with overcoming my own struggle with the narcissistic relationships. Also, you might want to watch the Crappy Childhood Fairy. That's also very helpful content. I will link their channels below, and I hope this helps you check it out. So be nice to yourself and know that this takes time. And especially for this abusive type of relationship, you might end it once, and then usually for the narcissistic stuff, you're going back to the cycle because they hoover you back and they love bomb you again, and then you're back in the cycle, and then all this cycle repeats again. Then you're out again, you're back again. So the cycles will probably get shorter, and some are never able to escape that. If you are in that, all my best wishes for you. If you're willing to overcome that, you can do it. Just don't do it without properly educating yourself on that topic. Because then, even if you get rid of a narcissistic friend or a poisonous friend, whether it's narcissistic or whatever strange behavior, you might end up in a narcissistic job environment. So that's clearly not what you want, because then you're back in the cycle with whomever it is. And if you started educating yourself, but it can be a lot, and suddenly realizing what's going on can also lead to a severe breakdown. For me, that was the case 10 years ago. So if you're in that acute phase and you feel you need somebody to accompany you with that, find a therapist that can help you go through this together. But also be aware that it takes time to find a good one. Because from my own experience, I can tell you that universities don't teach empathy. And a range of fancy degrees doesn't really mean that they have understood and really internalized the topic. A fancy degree actually only means that they are able to repeat what they are taught. But repeating and understanding a topic deeply and being able to apply the knowledge are different things. From being 13 years at the university, I learned that experience is how you really learn things, not from theoretical elaboration without any deep meaning. So I also share 3 tips for you to find a good therapist. And number 1 is ask them why they think they are qualified to help you with your current problem. and see what they answer, and trust your gut. And if it doesn't feel right, move on to another therapist. Ask them if they have personal experience with trauma, depression, or whatever your current topic is. Third, see what they answer and trust your gut. See if their answer is convincing to you. And then, if it's not, move on to another therapist and talk with them. It might be okay if somebody's answering, hey, I don't have experience with guiding people through narcissistic abuse, but I'm willing to learn together with you and help you through this. That would be a convincing answer, in my opinion. But if they answer, yeah, I did 10 years of study and I have this degree and I have that degree and whatever, and they just brag around with their degrees, but you feel there is no real understanding of the topic or deep backing up behind that, that might be a no-go for you. You have to find, of course, your own no-goes and trust your gut during that process. That's actually the most important thing. By the way, if you find my content helpful for you, please share it with others. Also share your own experiences in the comments. I would really love to read those. And I would also like to help you if you're struggling with something. Just let me know. So, at the end, if you commit to these 4 steps wholeheartedly, there is, in my opinion, no way you will not make progress in that. Just be aware that there is no quick fix for that. Take a pill and you'll be fine doesn't work. It's a multifactorial issue that gets worse over time and thus needs to be targeted in a multifactorial approach. Be nice to yourself and know that it takes time. Celebrate on the way every progress that you make, if it's like stopping to eat fast food, if it's starting to do meditation or breath work 10 minutes each day, whatever it is, celebrate your progresses. And also don't curse yourself when you had a bad day and you ate a burger or whatever, or you have eaten the whole chocolate. That happens. Next day is going to be better. I really, really hope that this helps you on your journey to healthy hair. Let me know about your personal struggles and also about the progress you make. And let's help each other to empower us on our journey here. I strongly wish that we can do that. So please like, share, and leave a comment. And also, if you find that helpful, please subscribe to my channel for more content. And I'm wishing you all the best for your journey. May God be with you. Bye.